Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Where is that written? Who has eyes to see, blah, 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 and ears to... Okay, so who has eyes to see and, understanding and know how to read, understands exactly what this means. So we got Russia Today, and this is the title. From today, the 29th of April, 2024. Spielberg helping to direct Biden's campaign, NBC News says. The famed, should not be famed, but he is because he's Hollywood, film director is reportedly assisting the US president to convey his re-election message for the propaganda. The guy who makes movies for you, the yearly specific movie for you, so you feel guilty for nothing. So, I will get into that a little bit deeper, but one of my intellectuals, the intellectuals I've been listening to in my life, was Dr. William. He was a physicist. He had a PhD in physics. And in one of his broadcasts in late 1990s, or maybe early 2000s, he said that these guys, the perpetual victims, overdo it. That is, they like to work from behind the scenes in changing certain attitudes and, propaganda. Hollywood, media, entertainment industry, they like to be from behind with the politicians. But he said it from time to time, and it shows in their expulsions from various nations and tribes, they overdo it. They want, with their ego, to show that actually it's us who are in charge of you. And that's when even the baboons are like, say what? Spielberg Stein? Are you the one? I didn't know that. Well, as an idiot told me, well, Emil, why are you so, upset when you hear certain groups controlling certain areas? If there would be not that group, would be another group. Imbecile. Well, how about my group? Why should it always be that group or other groups? I want my group, if we function like that. But it's not like that. In America, it should be the American group. It shouldn't be that kind of group of that kind of Romanian Americans, French Americans, this kind of Americans. No, it's Americans. Or the guys with a dick without another dick. That is not something that unites us. Okay? So that's an idiotic statement. It's not going to be that group, it's going to be that group. Why should it be like that? And if you tell me because that's how the life works, so then tell me about diversity then in this country. Do I want diversity then? I don't want it. I want one people then. And that means we're going to have all the same interest. We're not going to have this interest with this interest fighting with one another. But that's the way it is, Emil. Okay, got that. So back to Mr. Dr. William. He said that these guys are overdoing it. Even the baboons will see it, and then you're going to have bad things happening to them. And I think United States of America is at that point where they're too visible. They are too visible. I mean, you can see in the State Department, you can see the defense minister in Great Britain, you can see in France, Prime Minister, and so on. You can see them, they are there, very represented. You can see them in the Congress, US Congress. And the problem is, in certain events, like for instance in Ukraine, there's too many of them showing up. Even Kasparov, his half, shows up. The Russian grandmaster, blah blah blah, world champion chess. He is Kasparov. Kasparov shows up. Abramovich shows up. All these guys show up in Zelensky's. Let's help him a little bit here and there. And they show up too much. And now we have Netanyahu over there. So it's like the whole world revolves around this. I don't care about these motherfuckers. Let them be. But if I see a connection, which I forbid you to see and connect any fucking dots. There's no connection. As Dave Chappelle, if you remember, in one of his skits 2 years ago at that garbage Saturday Night Live garbage, He came and said, well, if there's a group of black people over there, you call it a gang. If it's a group of Italians, you call it, I don't know, a mafia. But if it's a group of Jews, nothing to see here, just a coincidence. Okay, so this guy is, they can't help it. They have to be, rather, he is over there. You can say, well, you see too much into it. No, you see too little. That's the problem. You see too little. All right, do not connect any, don't connect any dots. So we have Spielberg helping the propaganda. It was one time Orson Welles, that actor, he met with, I can't remember who was that, a president of the United States of America. Was it Reagan? I can remember. And they were talking, and I think Reagan told Orson Welles that I think we are the best actors here in this. I mean, like, you're great, you're fantastic, but I think, or the other one said, I think, no, Reagan, the president, said that he's the best actor. These are actors. They're over there to act, to fool the baboons. Remember charisma. In my political interventions, interactions with some American politicians, I've been called fool, because I thought that, values like, intelligence, courage, virtues like this should be viewed as winning qualities in a society, and people will. But if you have a society that loves this kind of garbage and that kind of garbage, and those are their values, they'll want to look for something that is an exemplification of those values, and the person that represents, representation of those values. If the values are sucking dick, then who sucks the best is the best guy among us. But if courage is the virtue that we look up to, as it used to be, then a courageous person would be the one that would be followed. So this is with the charisma. And I've been told that you're naive, Emil. Charisma, that's all what in politics you need. Charisma. I said, yeah, but charisma, you're dumb as fuck, but you have charisma. You're good looking, and you know how you're, as Obama, they say he was very, how do you call it, articulate. He was not saying shit, but he was articulate. I never thought that, let me be clear. Fuck off. I never saw anything in that guy but a weasel. I think with Michelle or Michael, holy moly, if that she would have an pop, we would run away or fight back. Anyway, move on. So again, you have charisma. Well, charisma, she said, the particular politician, she said, when you get in power, you get elected, you fool the baboons, basically. You appoint the right people. Those are the ones, the smart ones. But I said, okay, but then how do you make a decision that the smart guy tells you that's the decision we have to make, Mr. President? How can you figure it out? But you don't. So that means you don't make the policy. They make the policy. You have no control. You're just a figurehead. I said, that's not how a country should work. The guy in charge should understand when let's say, the Pentagon comes with, we should bomb this, we should do this. You have to understand what's going on. You don't believe that guy, because besides that, you don't know that guy. You might have appointed it because he was recommended by or someone else. You don't know the guy, like Trump. He appointed guys, didn't know personally, or he appointed some garbage around him that he personally knew. But anyway, so let's go back to Spielberg, the propaganda maker. They come up front, my friends. They come up front. So here it is. Yeah. You have reasons to smile. And besides, Tom Hanks sucks this guy's dick very much because he's all around with him and his wife and all that. It's throwing up. Steven Spielberg. What is his real name, I wonder? One of the Hollywood's best-known film actors, directors, has been enlisted to assist and promote and command U.S. President Joe Biden's with his re-election campaign. Spielberg, a longtime supporter of Biden, who's not from Spielbergstein, is reportedly providing strategy for the Democratic National Convention scheduled to take place in Chicago. What do you mean, strategy? He's a director. Is he a script writer too? Or some others are writing his speeches. If you really run a look, some of JFK, not JFK, probably JFK's too, if I remember correctly. Martin Luther, I apologize. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Did I miss anything? One of his speechwriters, the main one, was Weinstein. Anyway, something like that. Levi, something. So yeah, they're everywhere. You can say, well, Emil, what the fuck? Well, let's look at this this way. How many Romanians do you know in this kind of positions? And you can't say because we're dumber, because then you get in problem with being xenophobic or who knows what. So how come? You can say, well, this group is better at this kind of shit because that makes the other ones dumber. And as far as we know, we all perform the same under the same environment. So that's why in school, if someone performs better, is because that person was privileged somehow. I've been told I've been privileged in college. When I got in USA and I went to college, I've been told that I'm privileged as a white man. And I said, like, what? Say what? I came here with my hand and my balls holding them. That's all. How am I? You're privileged because of your education, where you came from, the family you came from, all that. So what am I fucking supposed to do? Cut half of my brain and my behavior off? What am I supposed to do? Oh, no, you have to allow others to be in front of you. No, I will not fucking allow that. No, I will smack that motherfucker, and the ones who promote that kind of garbage, I will fight that. Meritocracy. You know, someone said that the attempt to make everybody equal is such a unjust way, because it's very unjust for the people who have quality. I mean, what, put it all together? What do you mean? So no, that's garbage. Even the people, even the identical twins living in the same environment, they will perform differently in school, in the athletics, and so on. So it's not necessary, you know, the environment plays a role, the genes play a role, and so on. But anyway, you got the same guys here. So let's see what strategy these guys are doing. He had been meeting even organizers, Spielberg, who expects more than 5,000 delegates from 50 states. Okay, the filmmaker is offering his insights on how best to convey the president's successes. They mean lie? A big lie? My bad. What successes and his vision for the country. You see, the vision is something that it doesn't exist, and I just create for you to follow me. That's what it is. No, show me what you did. The successes. That means putting together the big lie. What's the big lie? Saying something so obviously wrong and untrue that people will say even they would be embarrassed to come with this one. It must be true. It's so obvious, could be. I mean, that's the theory of a big lie. And the big lie was not invented by that guy. That guy spoke about the guys who used the big lie. Just read the book. The book. Anyway. All right. Stephen wants to be as helpful as possible to the president. He's just helping. He's just a pious, very ethical, more ethical than you and I. You know, moral, because he's, you know, and he wants just to help. They want to help. They just are the victims, are just hit. They don't do anything. They just, you know, want to help and entertain us and make us feel good as Americans. And his vision for the country. As well-placed source about, he believes this is one of the most important elections in the nation's history. Like what? You have a 15% alive engine, so 90%, so 10% versus 90. Biden is 95%. His engine is, okay, 5% he's in spasms, you know, like a dying fish or a fish that you cut his head. It's just the last, you know, nerves are reacting, all right? Or under his injections, in his ass, suppositories, in his nose. Who the hell knows what he's got around and what kind of things he's got. He must have a big heart, not in that way. Big hearts, you know, explode. But these guys are probably 24/7 with resuscitations, how do you call those? RG, Babi, Goo, I can't remember. You're ready. If they hear like beep, boof, boof, immediately, and by them, and then, okay, here you go. You're 15 minutes out. Start. We got 30 more seconds. Get him out. He's gonna be like a zip. The whole system. So here is Spielberg for you. They are coming to obviously out, and then what you have in the end, the garbage, what happens right now in Gaza, and these guys come out with a protest. They can't hold it back anymore. They can't hold it back, but they will try to use the government to hit on people who disagree with their version and vision. That's what's gonna happen. You'll see. You'll see. Why? Because they are too exposed. People can point to the names and positions, and they're gonna connect the unconnectable because there's no connecting dots. Please. All right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.